Good morning, Steph and Maggie. I guess I don't know
Hi.
if it's on the screen anyway, but yeah, from Palma. Where's the palm trees?
No palm trees in this background, but there's plenty on the beach. It's pretty nice here right now.
All right. So exactly where are you?
We are in Palma de Mallorca, actually in El Arenal, which is on the east side of Palma Bay. And we've been here for 2 weeks preparing for the Princesa Sofia trophy.
One of our favorite venues, favorite regattas in the whole world. So we're psyched.
What makes it the best?
Well, the bay is this nice wide open bay, and the sea breeze comes right down it, and the chop by the end of, by the bottom of the bay gets pretty steep and fun. It's usually sunny and windy, and we have this awesome beach to launch on, and the Spanish tapas are good, and yeah, there's so many. I don't know where to begin.
Yeah, it's a scenic sailing venue for sure.
Yeah,
long beach runs, all that kind of stuff, nice sunsets.
yeah, hikes, nice bike rides, everything. Yeah.
So you can
and it's well attended. This is like the hugest ever Princesa Sofia trophy, and the beach is absolutely packed. It's record attendance, so it's also just really cool to see everyone gather for the beginning of the season. There's a good buzz in the boat park and hype,
Yeah, this is kind of the beginning of the critical part of the pathway, is it not?
Yeah, it's the kickoff of the 2023 season, and kind of the iconic European championship that everyone comes to. And for us specifically, it's actually the start of the trials for the Olympic test event. So all the other classes except for the FX and the NACRA had their trials already in the States. But for our classes, it's the Princesa Sofia trophy next week. And then later on this month, the French Olympic Sailing Week in Yare. So kind of an exciting time for us. Not only is it the kickoff of the season, but also a trials event.
So you've had a lot of working up to do to this, and so you've been there for 2 weeks. What has been the focus of this full 2-week training window that you've had?
A little bit of everything. Prior to this, we were training in the Canary Islands, and it was windy every single day. Like every time we launched with the rig at base, we were going turns on within like 10 minutes. So it was just kind of this joke, like, oh, don't worry, we've got 18 knots again today. We thought we'd have an easy day. So we did a lot of windy sailing. And since we've been here, we've been trying to dial in the rig and new sails for the light to medium settings, which we were really grateful to see because it had been actually a couple months since we did light air sailing. So just final touches on the rig tuning and the, getting to know the new sails, and then also trying to sort of remember the Palma playbooks and the geography of the area and how that works with the sea breeze and stuff like that.
Yeah. And I think, the final thing that we've been working on a lot is just making sure our boat handling is really crisp as well. And, those are the points that are easy gains on the race course. And Palma is known for sometimes having a less left-hand racetrack. So making sure your tack sets are good and your jibe takedowns to go to the right turn and kind of all those little details as well.
And I imagine you were saying the leeward gates are with the southerly are sort of up against the beach where there's a lot of backwash and waves. And so it's always, is that the leeward gate where all the carnage happens in Palma?
That's a nice way to put it. Yeah, exactly. That's where the carnage happens. Unlike the bottom of the course, there's the jibing graveyard, that everyone just starts getting overstood, and then you're dodging boats. And it's sort of a funny event because, like you said, the chop is always stacking up right next to the gate rounding where you need to jibe, take or get the kite down. And a lot of teams haven't raced in several months. There are a lot of younger teams here that are just starting out on the circuit. So Palma is good for some major wreckage at the corners.
You've never had any of that wreckage?
Oh, no, never. We have had to borrow a wing. We've done a lot of damage to our boats here. Actually, Palma really does do a number on the gear. So
no, but right. Get it out of the way early in the cycle, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So you mentioned the jibe takedown. Is that because you tend to go kind of right gate, right turn because you got to get left? So that becomes kind of a critical move in the playbook?
Yeah, it can. Yeah.
Man, I remember you see some of these past Olympic leeward mark runnings, and I'm just always amazed how quick things happen and how late you can push it to the takedown.
Me too.
Everybody coming into the chaos.
Yeah, if you're in the middle of the pack, you can be coming in with a lot of traffic, and definitely having good boat handling can pay off there, and good awareness of, kind of what everyone's potential plays are at the gate, and it definitely keeps Maggie on her toes. That's for sure.
Yeah, last year we had a 4-race day, so I was exhausted. Everyone was exhausted, and half your brain's working at that point at the end of a 4-race windy day. And we came in really hot to this finish line, and we were completely overstood, sails eased, like as far down on our wires as we could go. Do you remember this? And we passed a pack of boats right at the finish, and we came screaming in, must have been doing 18 knots, like, marginally out of control, sort of on the edge of wiping out. But you're like, we're either going to get this pack or we're going to capsize, like whatever, we're going to go for it. We sent it. And as soon as we crossed the finish line, I was just totally zoned out, and Steph pulled the tiller, which she should have done to sail through the line. This all makes sense. And I was like totally caught off guard for, all the wrong reasons. I was just had a brain fart. And I'm like in the water, dragging behind the boat by the spin sheet, kite up, like the boat wouldn't capsize. It wouldn't stop. It wouldn't slow enough for me to get to it. And it was the last day, last race of the day. So the next fleet was out watching. I was so mortified, but we had a good laugh about it. We didn't foul anyone. The gear was okay.
We got literally dragged across the finish line.
Yeah, it was really embarrassing. Yeah, and I pinned the boat this way. We just couldn't. It wouldn't end. Yeah, it just wouldn't capsize.
Are you looking at more breeze like that for this week? What's the forecast?
It's still a little long term. Where we start racing on Saturday, so the early days next week are looking like northerlies, kind of 7 to 12 knots, 7 to 14 knots type thing. But beyond that, not really sure yet. We're ready for anything, really. Like we said, we trained a lot in Lanzarote and more breeze earlier this year, and ready for that, or offshore, we're ready for anything.
How many boats are registered for your fleet? I mean, let's sort of take a look at who you're sailing against.
Yeah, we have
the size and scope of the fleet that you've got there.
We have 60 teams, so the fleet reached max quota.
All 60 on one start line, or do they split them up?
Well, we'll split into fleets, so 30 teams per qualifying fleet, and then actually when we split into gold and silver, it's 25 boats for gold fleet. So, pretty decent sized fleets, and I think it's going to be, like Maggie said, there's going to be a lot of different levels on the race course. So sometimes having awareness of who's around you will be important.
You the habits of most teams, but there's always the unpredictables.
Exactly.
Yes.
So maybe let's talk about, like you saying, like left side racetrack. I imagine this is precision race committee, so the line is like perfectly built for 25 boats and nothing more, nothing less. Space on the starting line is premium. What is it like getting off the starting line in this class? This sort of balance of I imagine the boat can't stop. You've got to always kind of have some flow across the boards, and how do you get off the starting line in that front row all the time?
I'd like to know that answer, actually.
Yeah, if you know, then.
No, we've been working a lot on our pre-start boat handling, and like you said, getting off the line here is super important, and having a good lane to get to the left, if that's actually the play on the bay at the moment. So we've been talking a lot about that and how we can position ourselves well. The boats actually, we can kind of make it do whatever we want. We have maneuvers to be able to go forwards, backwards, double tack, and kind of accelerate whenever we want to. It's being able to position strongly on the boats around us is critical. So
it's a lot on the skipper in that pre-start, 2.5 minute dance that the boats are doing. It's kind of the skipper's running the show completely, and I'm just sort of following and seeing what Steph's, trying to anticipate what Steph wants. But Steph is being sort of modest. Like, she's extremely physical with the boat, and it gives us really good boat control. Sometimes I'm like, I'll hear her like, she wants to get the bow down, and so she'll rip the tiller to windward. I'm like, careful back there. She's very aggressive and physical with the boat, and that's what you need to do. So it's a fun skill to work on, and it's the time that Steph gets like way more tired than me, during the race. Like usually Mark roundings, I'm exhausted, and that's the one that her heart rate's like through the roof. And yeah, we've been working hard on our pre-start stuff.
So are you pretty much you're a balance to what she's trying to do as far as like the weight and just controlling the jib and using that to turn the boat?
Yeah, exactly. Kind of managing flow based on like her weight positioning and jib trim. And then also while all this is going on, she's trying to keep track of the line and who's around us, who's poked. And, you know, obviously sometimes you lose one end of the line. So she's trying to manage like, okay, last time I saw the line, we were here and maybe we've done a couple reverses or maybe we've done a couple, you know, shoots forward to just manage the fleet around us. And so Maggie's kind of the one gauging like constantly where we are and relaying that information.
And Palma's good for that because there's usually when we're sailing in the southerly or southwesterly breeze, we've got this nice left-hand shore that you can get a million different line sights. And I'm looking forward to that. That's one of the more predictable elements of the starts is that you can usually get a line sight. So there's some level of confidence there.
Unless all the buildings are orange, which the other day, all the buildings on the side were the same color and it was really hard to find.
Yeah, I was like, it's just like
that one orange roof right there. Oh, wait, there's 10.
Each
right?
color one, yeah. So
I can't imagine like line sights to me is mind blowing in a boat that you guys sail. I mean, it's like easy on the J70, everything's kind of slow. There's a little less insanity, but like, is the line sight really still that important in FX sailing?
it's pretty important, but you don't get to see it as much as, well, before when we had Mylar sails and you could see through them.
Oh, right.
You had no excuse to not look for it. You know, your sails and the sails to leeward are all see-through. So we could, you know, see what we're looking for. Now it's a little harder with the 3DI mains. We've experimented with like, how can I kind of get around the sails to see it better? But like Steph said, we just go off the last time we saw it. So we have a U flag in our fleet. So at 1 minute, you can't be over the line. But what U flag usually means is that there is some pretty nice amount of sag that you can take advantage of. So at what point can we poke forward out of that group, get the line sight, and then back into the line? You know, that's something we've been sort of working on. But it's not always pretty. I do say, I lost it. You know, I'll be like, stop, I lost it. Don't have a line sight going off boats around us, you know.
That's pretty cool. That's 2.0. Like, okay, poke up reverse. Like most people don't talk about reversing in sailor racing, right? You know.
Yeah. Well, like you said earlier, our boats like kind of they don't stop. They are either going forwards or backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they're so light and unstable that like you kind of need flow one way or the other.
Huh. Well, we before we join this, we talked about having some video. Do you guys have one teed up about what this starting looks like?
Yes, I do. Let me share screen here.
I imagine this is.
How do I do that? Maggie, help.
Tech assist.
Yep. Man.
There you go. All right, cool. So before you press, well, there you go. So where are we here?
So here, we're just in a short. So in Palma here, with just a short starting line, a couple boats in the fleet. Just doing some practice starts. It's cool because typically, there's like a group chat with the fleet and all the coaches, and people organize training races before the regatta. So it's a good opportunity to get some practice starts in and some racing. And so oftentimes it'll be like 1, 2, maybe 3 practice starts and then a race. So yeah, this is just kind of final probably 30 seconds here. We're second boat down from the boat end of the line.
Right behind Italy. So you can't see us just yet, but we'll poke out.
So here we're kind of thinking through like, distance to the line. Maggie's relaying that information. I'm thinking about our flow, obviously going right into an acceleration here. But it all happens. I can back up a little more. It all happens pretty quickly.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. And so do you find that this is common what they teach in junior sailing, right? I mean, you're really only starting with the boats immediately around you, not all 25, right? And so do these little shortened starting lines, are they really valuable to kind of teach the starting in these compression zones?
For sure. And, obviously some of these short lines get really packed and sometimes they're actually unrealistic to racing, but it's a good battle because it teaches you like, okay, any little error might send us back on the boats around us, which obviously late in the sequence can be really dangerous. And so it really teaches precision in pre-start boat handling.
And doing it in like a training setting also gives us a chance to work with, it's the moment that the fleet is actually working together because we're kind of trying to push how close can we get on that last double tack. You want to be as close to leeward as possible to the boat, which means you have to stay on port as long as possible, which means you might foul them. And, we're not really going to want to push that in regatta, but these training starts give us a chance to then talk with the competitors later and, oh, that one was too close. You definitely fouled, or, that one I thought was too close and you thought was not close, then let's look at the video again. So that's actually kind of a cool moment of cooperation. When you jam together.
and on real starts, when there is this kind of subtle wing bumping and grinding up the start, do you find that at the Olympic level, do people kind of let things go? Maybe, if you're the leeward boat, you're going to get rolled anyway, type thing. But no, they'll call you and
yeah, there's a lot of screaming on the starting line.
Yeah.
Well, there may be a lot of screaming, but does it carry through to true protests, do you find?
Yeah, we've been in a couple of protests.
Yeah.
Honestly, coaches do a great job of videoing all the incidents, though. So we've had a couple incidents at regattas that girls say, hey, we thought that was too close. We're going to, we said protest, we're going to go through with it. And then we said, hey, okay, let's take a look at the video. We thought it was fine. And then one was dropped and we all looked at the video together. And that was sort of a sportsman-like incident, the way that they just said, oh, okay, the video's from behind and we see that actually you guys were clear. Never mind.
Yeah. So you do kind of do some cooperative arbitration before you.
Right? Yeah, right. None of us want to be in the room late at night for sure.
Nobody
but
does. Yeah.
We've been there for tiller taps where a tiller extension literally just taps the other boat and hours in the room.
God, that sucks. So how do you, so go back to the start here. How would you judge that one? It seemed like you're on the wire, you're going fast, you had a nice little acceleration. How would you rate that start?
I'd rate that a pretty good start. Yeah, it's interesting. We're like probably double tacking in the final 15 seconds or something, but able to use that double tack to go right into an acceleration. And I think get forward on the fleet there in the final seconds when everyone's really early and kind of slowing, we're able to be quick to the line. So pretty happy there. Obviously snugged up to the boat to windward with a nice gap to leeward and going fast. So not much more you can ask for.
Looks pretty solid. So it it looks to me like the double tack is definitely the critical thing to have in your pocket on the starts.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Cool. And so you've got who's your other training partner down there to leeward in 93?
We have been sailing with the British team, Freya Black and Saskia Tidy. And that's been going really well.
And Anna and Paris are on this line too. We've done a lot of starting in these sort of mid-sized groups together. And it's been great. High quality racing and everything.
Cool. Excellent. All right. Well, let's go to boat handling. I know you got some other videos. So this is like movie hour here, right? Yeah. Who's your coach here? Let's give I guess probably recognize who's
shout out to the coach.
Yeah, who's talking you through this insanity.
I think you want because we got to share.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit on the coaching. Who's working with you?
So we've been working since October with George Lima. He's a Portuguese 49er sailor who is in Beijing, Rio, and Tokyo. Really great guy to work with. He's brought a new level of awareness with sailing the boat and just, been really great to work with. And it's, always great to get fresh perspective and he's been awesome to work with.
Beautiful stuff. Watching you guys sail. What kind of awareness you mentioned? Did he? I mean, can you point to anything in particular of like, is it breaking bad habits or just creating new ones?
Well, some of that, but we're not going to talk about it. He's definitely like a feel-based sailor, and one of our strengths is that we like data, we like hard answers, we like formulas, we like if-then statements, we like communication playbooks, all that stuff. So we're very structured athletes. And so it's always a great opportunity working with a coach who kind of teaches us to go with the flow a little more, trust our gut, trust our feeling. Don't be afraid to get away from our tuning guide, go for the fine tunes. That's been a really eye-opening experience because sometimes I'm like, how'd the cambers on the bottom of this main look? And he's like, tell me how it felt trimming. Like that's how it is. And that's really refreshing. So
yeah. You can get buried in the numbers for sure. All right, what are we looking at here? I'm assuming you guys still in Palma here?
Yeah, still in Palma. This is just a little warm-up session one day before practice racing. And it's actually one of our favorite drills. We call it the corridor drill, but the Brits have the name Riverbank, which we think is a lot better sounding. So this is the Riverbank drill, where you have two coach boats paralleling each other upwind and make a nice little corridor that we have to kind of weave between. And it's really nice for warming up, gauging if you can tack and cross, or how much you have to like duck and then tack. And you can see there's a lot of like close scenarios here. And, now we'll have the leeward boat asking for room to tack. And it's just a really nice drill to get warmed up and focus on boat handling in the given conditions for the day.
Mm.
And we've also learned it's easy to like work on boat handling practice in a nice wide open bay when you can time your tack at the perfect moment. And then the acceleration feels great and you think you've got these awesome tacks, but then as soon as you're in a bit of coach boat wake, or like there, we tacked when we didn't want to, and it's a bit of a lull and the controls are on too, all those little things, like when there's a lot of contact between the boats, make the racing tacks more challenging. So we love to like create contact and have things on a short closed course. That's sort of been our mentality with boat handling stuff. Like as chaotic and hectic as possible is what we love in the boat handling drills.
Because that pretty much mimics the racing, doesn't it? Anyway.
Sometimes, yeah.
I mean, you can wait all day for your perfect tack and the right wave to go on, but it's never there when you need it in the race course.
Yeah,
totally.
I love the the ballet, I guess, as corny as it is of your tacks and stuff. It's so cool. Mm-hmm. You feel like you've watched yourself enough on videos, all the coaching debriefs, like, oh God,
Honestly, every day we have video. When George sends us the video, like, or the message saying, hey, the video has been uploaded, like, I love to sit down and watch it. And it's one of my favorite parts of the day to kind of relive and watch, like, oh, okay, like this step here, or like, just little ways that we can improve. And then also, just kind of relive the day, especially with these glamorous Palma days we've had.
And I get to see what Steph's doing. So those are the really great reveal moments when she's done something totally nuts. And I'm like, I didn't see that at all, and she's like twirled around and stepped off the boat or whatever.
That's what, yeah. Well, hey, you're doing your job. You're looking forward, right?
Yeah. I'm kidding. She doesn't mess up. I just don't know, sometimes I see the video, I'm like, wow, you're a little ninja back there. Look how fast you're clipping and out there, like I don't see any of that. So it's nice to see the whole picture. I know it is beautiful stuff. So the jibe here, what are we looking at? What's kind of like, can you dissect the steps to a good jibe? So which to me looks like this one's pretty solid.
Yeah. I mean, this is like the best condition to jibe in. It's like 12 knots here, full wiring. But here I just, as Maggie enters, she's like a step ahead of me. So I'm kind of just trying to focus on boat heel at this moment. And as she comes in, she's going to check the kite where she pulls down on the old sheet. Basically, as the boat is almost dead downwind here. And I'm focused on trying to keep the boat flat and fast during this moment. And then as we come through, basically, as the kite starts switching to the new side, I start turning faster to fill the kite and give us something to flatten off of.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get that kite sheet in the right place so it's not too tight and installed or too loose and luffing. And I'm trying to match my weight out with how fast Steph's turn is. So
this may sound really dumb. Though. Go back to when you do load the kite sheet. And obviously, this is kind of a different style of sailing. The angles are different, but you don't have that nice slow ease of the clue around the head stay type thing, do you? There.
No, I wish.
Yeah. So what's the importance of really loading that sheet? What does it do to the kite?
So if actually I'll back up a little further. When Steph's heading down in the beginning of the jibe, right now, if I ease the kite out, right now, if I don't control the leech, and if instead of trimming there, if I ease it, the kite's really flat and it's going to kind of collapse on itself and be much harder to switch over.
The boat gets real wobbly through the time.
And exactly. Yeah, so it makes it a cleaner switch if I over trim it like that, instead of having the luff of the kite turn over and like fold on itself. Does that?
Yeah, you can definitely see it in step by step. And then is there sort of a pause moment for you, Stephanie, as well, to make sure that you don't turn up too quick there, and then you got to accelerate?
Exactly. I'm kind of just watching to make sure that like the kite is on its way over and that she's like ready to be meeting the angle that I'm choosing out of the jibe.
She hears from me. She goes too high too, and I've got to over trim. I'm like, stop the turn, because it gets really loaded and hard.
Stop turning.
Yes, exactly.
And to me, it is amazing that, I mean, I know it becomes very mechanical the more you reach for the wire. That is it just naturally fall into your hand 99% of the time, or
where the puck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a bit funny when our trapezes are really low and we've like toggled down or max low. Sometimes they'll be a little bit all over the place. Once recently, I totally missed it and then just kept turning around the shroud and like landed like face down, and Steph was like, "What just happened to you?" And I was like, "That was very dumb. Like, I don't know why." So sometimes you totally overshoot. I mean, we run off the boat as well sometimes, and we just laugh. Like it'll totally happen. But let's go 99% of the time we catch it. Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Yeah. And actually here you can see like we both hit the wire hard, and you can see my hand reaching for the spin sheet. So I grab the spin sheet so that Maggie can clip in after that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's 2.0 for sure, huh?
Yeah, that's when it's nice to have a skipper with big guns, because there's no hurry there. Like when we're really low on the wires, my hook is very far from my trapeze hook. Like my bail is really far from my hook, so I can't like accurately trim the sheet and grab the bail and then bring it down. So I hand it to Steph and I let her hang on to it for a while and ease it, and it's pretty sweet.
That's cool.
Good call out.
Yeah, big guns. Well, okay, so we might as well let's talk about training, because I know we see a lot of serious squats and some good gym time. At least I see it from Stephanie. I don't know about you, Maggie, but I don't know.
I'm there. Maybe I just don't look as good in the gym.
Yeah,
I don't post as often. I should though.
I mean, how much is it realistic to say how much percentage of your training time is in the gym and versus the water these days?
It goes through phases, and honestly, you can't replicate in the gym what you do on the boat. There's nothing like having boat fitness and being able to, have the mechanics to hang and clip and run across the boat quickly and pull yourself into the boat powerfully. Like you can try to mimic all that in the gym, which we do try to do, but there's nothing like being on the actual boat. So, it goes through phases, and when you're on the road, it's a little bit harder than when you're at home. So when we're at home, it's those are bigger priority areas for us. But the good news is that we're feeling strong and healthy and ready to go for this event.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say a lot of that is just injury prevention, strength training as well. I imagine, yeah,
for sure. Especially when we're in like a training block and we're lifting more frequently throughout the week, say 4 lifts a week or 5 if we're home, and a couple of cardio sessions, like that's a really different load than when we're racing. Like when we're racing, maybe 1 lift, but the majority of the work off the water will be activation, mobilization, and recovery stuff with our physical therapist. And that's all injury prevention. So that's just how do you make sure everything's firing and mobile and the right level of stimulation that's not overtiring your body, so you're totally fresh.
Yeah.
We look at the forecast and we're like, we want to be fresh for this week.
Yeah.
How about like mindfulness stuff, yoga and stretching? I mean, is that, especially once you get into the chaos of racing, is that mindfulness become part of the training?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely helpful. And with any regatta, there's going to be some sort of stress. So the more mindful you can be, the better, in theory, the better able you are to handle that stress.
Yeah. And everyone's got different tools. Like, I think maybe we both checked in today with I'm talking sports like later, and we keep regular contact even when things are good and when things are tough. We just try to keep that as a regular rhythm. We each have different tools, journaling cues, books we kind of fall back on when we are entering a stressful period of racing. Meditation, the Headspace app is like super easy. It's so your phone, everything's on the phone these days, like just do a 10-minute meditation and it's super helpful. And yeah, it's always important.
You get your Ted Lasso moments. Do you watch the show?
Oh,
oh yeah, new season's out. I've been saving it for next week.
Yes. Yeah. And we just read the same book, so it's been kind of fun to chat about that. And I can't wait till Steph's watching the next season of Ted Lasso, then we can talk about that, when we're trying to switch off our brain.
So many awesome one-liners in that movie. Like, there's just full of
I know. Right.
So explain to everybody that doesn't understand. Let's sort of get into just the quick and dirty of this campaign, or what's left, the steps ahead of what you got to do to qualify, and how do you get to Paris? What's the pathway there for you?
Wants to go.
The first step is this regatta, and next month in Yair these two events, the team with the best combined score from these two events qualifies for the Pan Am Games and the Olympic test event. Then the team that qualified for the test event, the Olympic test event, if they are on the podium, trials are over. So that's the first opportunity to win the US selection. After the test event in July, we have a world championship in The Hague in August. And that's the first chance to actually qualify the country for a spot at the Olympics. So I think that'll be 8 country spots.
Yeah.
Something like that.
8 or 10, I can't remember.
Yeah.
And we have not yet qualified in the...
Well, we haven't had a chance to yet. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. Country qualifiers will begin in August. If no one from the US gets the job done there, the continental spot will be up for grabs at the Pan Am Games in November. And then I believe if no one gets the job done there'll be a last chance qualifier, but I'm not positive, and we're hoping to not have to worry about that. So, next year at this time, if no one was on the podium at the test event, like we mentioned, then the trials will continue into next spring, and that'll be best combined score of the Lanzarote Worlds, which are in March. March, and then Palma as the second event. So Worlds in Palma if no one gets it done at the test event this year.
Wow, it's crazy because people say, "Oh, this is such a shortened Olympic cycle," but it's like, man, it looks long, but it probably feels really short, I imagine. But there's
some days it feels long, some days it feels short.
Yeah, and that's 6 events that you're looking to peak at in literally one 12-month period. Wow. So it's a pretty hectic 18-month period for sure.
But you're living the dream, man. You're sailing the Canary Islands, Palma.
Yeah,
no complaint.
Endless summer.
On the boat and logistical side, I mean, is the equipment? You have what you need, and that side of it, sail development, equipment, gear.
We made a big push for equipment development this winter, and now we actually will be getting a new boat after the Yair Regatta, so just in time for the summer, and that boat will get us through the trials and then kind of see for the games, how that all plays out. But right now we're in a good spot with equipment.
We had a funny moment in February when we were on a boat that was previously pretty competitive and good. And we were like, it kind of feels like our boats just got old overnight, and then we started actually doing the math on how many months and years we'd been sailing them. And we were like, this is actually, maybe we've just been sailing for a lot of years now. Maybe we are on year 8 or something. And the boat that we bought 3 years ago is starting to get tired. So then we did ship over our Olympic boat for these events because we realized that the boat we were competing on was sort of tired, and getting back on that boat was it's like a Jaguar. We were so happy. We were like, oh, it's just
something faster, Maggie.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, faster than a Jaguar. I don't know cars, but sorry, I thought that's a really fast one.
Jaguars, there's some pretty fast Jaguars,
I mean Ferrari. Yeah. Okay. It just felt like a really fun, fast boat. And we were like, wow, you feel the difference in the stiffness, and the boat's just, takes the waves better and accelerates a little quicker. So that was really fun to get back into our boat. She's called La Jefa.
La Jefa. So that's probably where your coach is. See, it is working. You're feeling the boat.
Yeah.
Better.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
So you're going to be home. I know you guys got things to do here, so I promise to keep it short. You're going to be home anytime this summer, and how can we, and those back here in the US cheer you on and come meet you and hand over checks to you and all that. Everything needs to happen.
We'll be in and out throughout the summer. Actually, with the Olympics being in Europe, all the training and racing is happening over there. So we'll be kind of going back and forth to Europe a good bit, but when we're home, we love seeing our friends and family and connecting with yacht clubs back home. And so, yeah, any opportunity to do that is much appreciated. And it's always nice to hear from people when we're on the road. So please send messages. We appreciate hearing from everyone.
And you're doing your newsletter and blog, and have you been able to stay on top of that, or just keep following on your
The
social
newsletter
channels?
goes out about once a quarter. And Instagram is the best way to follow us. So we'll be posting hopefully daily updates from the regatta, just depending on how schedule shakes out, but try to post at least once a day during the event to let everyone know how it's going. And we hope you guys will follow along.
Yeah, please do. We're begging you. Yeah, we need more. Yeah.
Okay.
No, we do at least. Yeah. Send some videos so we can make reels and make you famous and put them out there. So,
Thank you. Well, Allison
right,
did a good job. I'm like, we get lazy and spoiled because she's so talented.
Yeah, she is good. Yeah. So you've got a full U.S. team support there for this event, right? Or the entire team, I feel like is there pretty much, right? Except for
I think we have. I think we have athletes competing in all classes. And so, big support here. And
Riley's here. We got physio here. Yeah.
Full squad.
The whole shebang. Yeah.
All right. Excellent. Well, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it. What else? This was an off day. So what else you got left? It's got to be, almost late in the afternoon there for you?
I get to do my favorite thing tonight. I have a date with our mainsail and all the stickers that have to go on it. As you saw, our sail's a little bare in the video, so I've got to put some on. And I do love doing that with a hairdryer and just take my time and wash it down.
Like Saturday night.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Date night with my mainsail. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
yes, that's going to do something social. She socializes for the team.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. All right. Excellent. Well, thank you very much. Great to connect with you guys.
Well, racing today.
Got to do this more often. So I'm going to put you on the hook. Since we found a little time here before we start racing, we're going to connect on the end and see how it all went.
Cool.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
Cool.
You know where to find.
Thanks.
And good luck today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have a great regatta.
Thanks, Dave.
Bye. Bye.